lust is when you are actually thinking about having sex with the person.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm saying. So the question I'm asking now.
You see why you are thinking this back down. Once the mouth of your spirit leaks itself, looking at the woman.
Wait now.
The mouth of your spirit.
So looking at somebody lustfully is this. I think if I want to define it,
Lust.
just
How
I
you
look
define-
at somebody and I think
imagine,
sex.
I
yes.
just imagine.
And you think about the person's nakedness. I think
Yes.
about what it will look like.
what you will
Already
feel
you're
like.
thinking about the person lustfully. You're looking
Yeah.
at the person
So if
lustfully.
you see a woman now, a shapely woman with a nice figure, how do you recognize she has a nice
Look
figure?
away.
The Bible says that they gave them pastors to teach them. So there is the place of teaching of the pastors, which is also counseling. So you can't just write it off that, it is not needed.
I'm writing it off and I will tell you why. What you said is very ambiguous. The Bible spoke about counseling. The Bible did not talk about premarital counseling.
Yes, but counseling
The
is
Bible
counseling.
did not even talk about counseling. Does a pastor counsel you for your exam? Did the pastor counsel you about your outfits? Did the pastor counsel you about feeding?
We've had
Did the
pastors
pastor
talk
counsel-
about how
hold
you
on,
should dress nice.
Hold on. Did the pastor counsel you about your diet? Do you know more people die because of their diet than their marriages in Nigeria? Even in the body of Christ. Are you
But
aware?
we've had pastors talk about how you should
How many
eat
times do
also.
they talk about it? They insist that before anybody marries, the person will come for premarital counseling. And I'm telling you that is unbiblical. The Bible said that he who finds a wife, I said it that day. For Bible to say he who finds a wife means that even before your pastor knows the person is a wife already.
But people they go counseling
The Bible
outside
did not
church
say.
now.
The Bible did not say when you want to go searching for a wife, go with your pastor. The Bible said, he who finds a wife, my pastor meets the woman that is my wife as my wife. My pastor will not meet that woman as this is the person I want to marry. That's what the Bible is saying. And that's what I'm saying. Counseling is you as a believer. The minute you become a believer, you need counsel. We are led by the Spirit of God. As I'm sitting with you right now, if the Spirit of God lays it in my heart to come and counsel you about something you want to do, I will. But when I set up an office and I say, everybody who wants to marry must come here for me to counsel
Okay, I see
them.
I see where the problem
an
is
office. If you come willingly for me to advise, it's no longer premarital. That premarital counseling automatically defeats the purpose.
It's a special edition. It's actually the review of Talk To Podcast. So we thought to have this conversation where we just go through. First of all, we appreciate everyone who's been streaming, who's been liking, who's been sharing, who's been commenting. We see you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. So this episode is basically about feedback. Yeah, feedback from us here. Most importantly, feedback from you people who have been going to engage our platforms. Okay, so we're going to go through the feedback and then we'll basically just talk about how that episode was fire. Just in case you haven't seen it, you haven't streamed it, please go to our page on YouTube, Talk True Podcast, and look at that episode, Side Chick Trend. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the show. We have our cast and crew right here, one and only CDO in the building. You're welcome. Always a pleasure to have you. And we have the guys who make it work. Right here, TY in the mix right there. Say hi to the camera. For the first time.
hello, guys.
Mo.
Hi.
Not Mo Abududo, but Mo in the house. Richard. Okay, you're not in the shot, so don't worry. But we see you. Sam White.
Sam, I say something now.
Say something now. Why did I say you gentle?
Hello, fam.
To the farm. Who's your farm?
Hello, fam.
Who's your farm? There you
Okay, and we have our very own First Lady in the building. You're welcome, man.
Mm.
Nice
First
to have you
Lady.
at church.
That's it.
Welcome again.
I wanted that reaction.
Oh.
You're welcome. So basically, we're going to talk about the episode 7, Side Chick Trend. We're going through your comments, feedback, and then we're going to just have a conversation around that. Yes, I have one person here who says,
Well, on YouTube,
chick
on
sha.
YouTube.
Yeah,
On
on
YouTube.
YouTube. Yes, on our
Okay.
page on YouTube. Side chick shall no be crime. Now, waiting I know be that. No long cap.
The man I be that woman talk that one.
If that's not man. Now, man go fit talk this kind of thing.
Say side chick. no be crime.
Side chick shall no be crime.
But
Now
it's
wetin-
right now. It's
now
not a
wetin
crime
you
now.
know?
No, it's not
When
a
you say
crime.
crime,
From
in
whose
what
perspective?
sense?
Yeah.
When you
From
say
what
crime,
sense?
What is a crime? It's not a crime. Crime is against the law. Is anything against this law?
Okay, it's not a crime. Okay, I thought,
Yeah.
but is it a
But
sin?
is it a sin?
Yeah,
And
it's
now they
just
talk
it.
now, yeah, because we know say we don't
So
do
first of all, you need to define what sin is.
Okay.
Oh.
So what is
See,
sin?
you don't carry your spa.
No, let him define what sin is.
Yeah, help us define
What is
sin.
sin?
Help us define
Sin is
sin.
disobedience to the law.
To the
What law?
So that's it. Sin against who?
okay, sin against God.
Okay, sin
We are
against
Christians,
God.
as Christians.
So what are the laws? Is there any law? Has God
Shall
said
not
any
commit
law?
Adultery.
adultery now.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not
It's
commit
not far
adultery.
now.
It's not far.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Side chick is adultery you are committing.
now.
Side chick is adultery.
And
Eh,
then one person is committing fornication.
one person. So no,
If
side
you
chick
are not
can even be. It can be fellow married people. Adultery,
Adultery,
done adultery.
fornication, sha.
So based on God's law.
Yes.
Yes, based on God's law. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
What about based on morality?
Morality.
I mean,
who they
right
define
and
the
wrong.
moral? That's
Right
who they
and
define
wrong.
the moral.
Would you have a side chick when you're married?
I will not.
If you're married.
I will not have a side
Why?
chick. I'm a Christian for crying out loud.
No,
If
but
you are not a
right, see,
Christian.
wait, I have a question though. You say you're a Christian.
Yes.
So the men that married 2 wives in the Bible,
Uh-huh.
or 3 wives,
Are they
or
not
Solomon
Christians?
that had 300 and 700, I don't know what the ratio was.
Is Solomon a
Is he
Christian?
not a
There are some
Christian?
Question.
things
Is Solomon a
God
Christian?
allowed
Let's ask the
before.
question. Is Solomon a Christian? Is Solomon a Christian? Let's ask that question.
No.
No, he wasn't.
So let's continue from there.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Solomon, I'm asking, Solomon a Christian?
Stop this thing, I beg. Which one is
Is
this?
Solomon a
No,
Christian?
Solomon wasn't born
Who is
again.
a Christian now? Says Solomon a Christian. Is that
What is the word? They cannot talk about Christian without talking about Christ.
Okay, Christ.
Absolutely, yes.
Not be Solomon generation born Christ.
But is
Yeah,
Solomon a
but it
Christian?
doesn't mean that
Before Christ.
in
Is
his
Christ a
era.
Christian?
In his
Christ is
era.
Christ is the
Christ
Or
is
the
So
definition
I'm
Christ.
of
saying,
Christianity
I'm
now.
thinking of what
Which
you guys
is what is
so,
Christianity?
the Christianity we define. Let's not deviate too far.
Well, let's not
We don't
deviate
go too
exactly.
far.
Define Christianity.
Exactly.
So hold on.
Is it? Are we saying that
I'm coming.
it is
Oh,
justifiable
Sidio, let's not go
Wait.
there.
to have
Sidio,
a
let's not
side
go
chick?
there.
The only way you will say is that adultery is if what if the side chick is legal?
Eh?
And we don't know they are legal side chicks.
No, not like
There are
legal
no
side
legal
chick. Is he
side-
married?
Are
Are
you
you
side
married
chicks?
legally? Are you married
Hold on, let
legally?
me explain to you. They are legal side
Which
chicks.
one is
There's some
legal?
men
There is
that
no
are
legal
married.
side chick
Wait,
now.
no, it could be side chick. I'm
Wait,
coming.
do you know side chick is a
I'm
crime?
coming,
Do you know
let me-
side chick is a crime?
Hold on, let me
Your
explain
wife
to you.
can actually sue you for going to sleep outside for
That's
infidelity.
what is illegal.
It's a crime.
Hold on, wait.
That's true, sir. You said side chick is a crime.
Yes,
It's a crime.
thank you,
Hold
TY.
on. What about men that have been married, no child for some years, and the
It
man's
will happen
family,
in the Bible.
and the
now.
man's family will come together and say, "Brother, hold this bally. We'll keep this bally for you. Babe,
The
come give her
wife- the
belly."
wife's
Is that not a
consent
side
will be
chick?
taken now.
Eh?
The wife's
wife's
consent has
consent
to be
will be
taken.
No, they don't need the
Believe
wife's
what I'm
consent.
trying to think now. I'm trying to think if there
The
were
wife's
men in the
consent
New Testament who
in-
had 2 wives.
In,
They
They
in
didn't really.
the-
They didn't really.
They didn't dwell
You
on
see, New
that.
Testament after
Of
Christ.
course, there were men in the New Testament
after
that had
Christ,
2 wives.
After Christ, the Bible focused more on spreading the gospel. If you check, it was more about churches. So they didn't really
I'll
focus
take
on
them.
people's
But
lives.
let's not
I'll take
deviate
them.
from the question. Somebody said, as far as he is concerned, side chick.
It's a crime.
is
Oh.
not a
Your
crime.
wife, you use
Then
that.
we are bringing it,
Go sue you.
within the context of
So the guy who
right
said that,
and wrong
the guy who
and
said,
Christianity.
the guy who said that, as far as he's concerned, that side chick is not
Not a crime.
a
sha.
crime. You need to speak to the guy to understand where he's coming from. There are societies where it is allowed to have extramarital affairs, and it's not a crime.
Okay.
You understand? So you don't judge everybody based on your own
But when
experience.
you say it's not a crime,
Hmm.
what we have already established as Christians, even according to the law, if you're married legally, if I don't know the law so much, but I think they can fact check me that it's a crime.
It's not a crime. Crime, you see, crime and civil wrong.
Exactly.
Are different.
It's not a
Okay, it's not a
crime.
crime. Okay, it's not a crime.
Yes,
but they
now.
can.
It is a sin against your faith.
Okay, about even faith.
That's
Can
what
your
I want
wife-
you to say. No,
Can your wife sue you for that? I've seen people sue for infidelity. I catch you with
but-
another woman.
No, but
and
it can be.
It's a ground.
Yes, it can be grounds for divorce.
Infidelity is a ground for divorce.
for ground for divorce.
And
I also
the person
think
gets
that
more
I'll
money.
check the law. There's supposed to be something, a fine or
There's no
something.
punishment on it.
There's a
No.
punishment.
No.
No.
No, there's no
Not a
punishment.
Okay, no, the punishment is that if you go and marry somebody else, yes. If you go and marry somebody else when you are still in
If
your
you,
marriage,
yes, if you have
that's
two marriages,
a crime.
that's a crime.
Yeah.
That's a crime.
But
But
if
infidelity
it's
is a ground for
relationship,
divorce.
the
Yes,
same
yes.
way your girlfriend can leave you for having another girlfriend.
Yeah, I understand.
So it's not a crime.
But it's
So
a
within
sin.
the context
According
of
to your faith.
It's a sin.
right.
According to your own faith.
Yes,
it's a
my
sin.
faith is a sin. Yes.
According to your faith, it's a
Even
sin.
moral, see, in our regular
Right and
moral
wrong.
standard, right? I think we used to see it as wrong. You know, say when people do moral right and wrong, they say if you are, they just look at you like, why are you doing this? Make it legal. According to our church,
Yeah.
they'll tell you instead of doing it, they'll say, oh yeah, bring a new wife. That's according to traditional practices or
Why are you
something.
hiding behind the
what
curtains?
is
Why are
actually
you
wrong?
coding it?
What is illegal? No, not illegal. What is wrong? What
Wrong.
is the sin is infidelity.
Yes.
It's not side chick.
What's side chick?
Side chick
Can
and
you have
side
side chick
chick
without
and not,
infidelity?
I mean,
But so what we're saying is that it's infidelity that is wrong, because if you say side chick is wrong or side chick is a sin, some people don't have side chicks, but they are also committing sin.
And so we're not even talking about sin as a
We're talking about-
as a word. We're talking about is side chick a sin.
yeah.
So we're not generally talking about plenty sins.
No,
That-
Lying is a sin.
No.
Killing is a sin.
No.
Backbiting is a sin. A lot of things are sins. Yes.
What is sin is infidelity. To cheat on your partner
Yes.
is a sin.
Are you not cheating on your
Having a
partner?
side
with-
chick-
Wait,
cheating.
wait,
Mhm.
wait. Side chick is just an aspect.
Of ch-
So don't leave infidelity and jump on side chick. It's just like saying car theft is bad. Stealing is bad.
Yeah, no, but
True.
our point of discourse now
Yeah.
is side chick. It's not infidelity.
So for you to even get to side chick, of course you have cheated already.
So that's what I'm saying. Now. So if the first level is sin already, then the graduate, what we're talking about, is already a sin.
So why I'm saying that you should not label side chick is because there could be grounds where side chick can be allowed.
In Christianity,
Hold on,
it
just
cannot
like
be
the man-
allowed.
Can you remember when somebody asked Oyakhilome if masturbation is a sin, and he said no?
So that thing, so it's just like saying that if you want to actually bring it from the Bible do not actually say this is a sin.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Just like
So
when they
if the
say
Bible-
I'm drinking
if-
now,
if-
you can't
exactly.
tell the point and say alcohol
Call
is
a
a sin. I say,
sin. I know why I'm saying what I'm saying. Call
Yes.
a sin what the Bible has called a sin. Call a sin what
Infidelity is a sin.
Infidelity is a sin. Cheating is a sin.
so technically,
Right.
Now, under what is your infidelity? Your infidelity is that you have side chick.
yes.
You understand? Your
Infidelity could also mean you don't have side chick, but you're sleeping
Exactly.
around.
Why I'm saying that is that it is not every scenario of a side chick that is a sin.
Sir, which of
So
them?
you
Can you give
cannot
us a
label
scenario? Can you give us a
A
scenario?
man and a wife can agree for the husband to have side chick
You have seen it.
for the
too.
purpose of bearing children.
Look at that.
Okay.
I've actually
Okay.
heard that, but,
But it
is that
doesn't
not-
make it. It doesn't
that-
make it not a sin.
right,
It
yeah.
does.
You know, it
It's
doesn't
not a
make
sin.
it.
No.
No.
It's no longer a sin.
It's a sin.
No, it's not.
Adultery is a sin. What's adultery?
What is adultery?
Adultery
Adultery
is when a man
infidelity.
sleeps with another. We did not talk about context. The Bible did not talk about
No,
context.
the Bible- consent.
consent.
The Bible
No.
didn't talk about
consent.
consent. The
No.
Bible,
The Bible did
talk-
not talk about consent.
What
the
did the Bible say?
perspective is between
Adultery. What's
God.
adultery? What's the definition of adultery?
You
What's that?
understand?
Define adultery.
Sleeping a married person sleeping with another person.
Why
is
did the Bible
adultery.
define adultery? Open it and show me.
The Bible said do not commit adultery. What's adultery now?
And I'm telling you what adultery is.
What's adultery?
Adultery is without the consent of your
I'm
partner.
coming. I'm here. No, that's not it. That's not
Okay,
it.
tell me what it
No,
is.
Let me
but do you
transport-
people
let me-
remember that
adultery.
adultery
But what
also
about
looking at a woman
fornication?
lustfully too is
Eh,
adultery?
Yes.
Yes, Jesus
Is it
said
that
that.
Oh, a
without
man
consent?
lost
That's
fully.
without
It's not
consent.
about consent.
If I'm standing with my wife and I tell my wife, say, see this big dash, this dash is
Adultery
big. Have I
You
committed
see,
adultery?
according to see, I'm giving you definition.
you're not lost in
Dictionary
anyone now.
definition now. Adultery is a sexual intercourse between a married person and someone other than their spouse.
Their spouse, yes.
That is telling you.
I'll bring another. We can
See,
use
put
dictionary.
your phone down.
Dictionary.
No, that
I'm
Voluntary
waiting-
sexual intercourse between a married person and a person who is not their spouse.
I'm waiting for you.
Consent or no
I'm
consent?
waiting for you to show me where the Bible says consent or no consent.
The Bible said adultery. I'm defining adultery for you.
And I have also defined your own definition of adultery. That is
Okay,
without
wait.
consent.
let us.
I don't have something to do with consent, actually.
Do you know there's a place in Benue State that if you go down to visit a man, he
Okay.
will give you his wife to sleep
Okay,
with?
wait. Did it-
Hold on, I'm
did the
asking you.
Bi-
Wait.
but
As
But is that
scholar,
not
Yes,
the
as scholar.
is your adultery?
Does it
But is
make
that
is
not
that a
the
It
sin?
is
Christian
not
practice?
today.
Is
It's
that a
not a
Christian
sin.
practice?
It's
No.
not the sin.
If you are a
that-
Christian,
Yeah, but the
I
context.
define sin.
It's
Sir,
a context.
if
we're
you're a
looking
Christian
at.
and you're still
Before
doing
we-
that,
hold
then you're
on.
not a Christian.
I define a sin for you. Stop saying you're not a Christian. Stop all this. What is Christianity? People just look at someone and call them Christian. There's nowhere in the Bible that said that Christianity.
Okay, you're not a believer.
no division of
That's your,
Christianity.
you don't like to define as believer, not as
And I'm
Christians.
telling you that I have explained what a sin is. A sin is you going against a law.
The law
Yes.
of God. In this
It's
context.
not God. Hold on.
The context
We are
we're talking
talking of
You
about.
can sin
now.
against God. You can sin against man.
Okay, we are talking of God now.
There
Yeah.
are places in the Bible where people say somebody said, I've sinned against you.
Yes,
Right.
we know that.
Hold
We're talking
on.
of a God.
So if we have defined sin as unlawful act,
Yes,
one,
yes.
first of all,
Mhm.
if you come to a society where a man, by law, by tradition, by culture, is allowed to give you his wife to sleep with, she has not committed adultery.
See, she has not committed
Do
adultery
you know?
by
Hold
that
on,
culture.
hold on,
Thank
wait.
you. I
By
like by
that
that
culture.
culture.
Yeah, according to that
I
culture.
don't
culture.
want to judge them by another culture.
So that's
Hold
what
on. That's why I said don't give a blanket explanation.
I'm not giving a blanket
The world
explanation.
has gone beyond when people come up bamboozle stories. Do you know that? Hold on,
Sir.
at the beginning of mankind, let me explain to you.
Okay.
Do you know that at the beginning of mankind, that brothers slept with their sisters?
Right, God allowed it at
Hold
the
on.
time.
What
At
did you
the
just say
time,
now?
At the
It was not
time,
a
at the
sin.
time,
At that time, it was not
But he has
unlawful
moved.
until God gave a law.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where there is no law, there is no sin.
So now the law is there.
And for a society where there is no law against a woman being offered to another man by the husband, you cannot call it adultery.
Okay, so we can't call it adultery in that culture. I
According
agree
to
with
their
you, sir.
culture.
So if you cannot hold on,
If you
cannot call it adultery in that culture,
in that culture.
wait.
But you know
Hold
that,
on,
you know that as
hold on,
kingdom,
listen,
as
now you're
kingdom
coming
believers.
closer.
Hold on.
You're coming closer
Okay.
to me. If you cannot call it adultery in that culture, then it will also be wrong for you to categorically blanket the matter as adultery, because we have people from that culture listening to us.
So I'm not blanketing it. I said,
You are.
see. Look at what
No,
I
but
said.
we're
See
putting
what's
the context to what we are.
See what's on our post.
and
We
I
say
told
Christ is the vibe.
And
We
we're
say
not-
Christ is the vibe.
Hold on,
So
don't rush.
we are obviously saying that we are kingdom
Wait,
guys here.
no, wait.
Right?
You are the kingdom guy.
I'm a believer here.
You are the believer.
Yeah,
Yes.
the kingdom man.
Are you not a
Hold on.
believer here?
Hold on,
Are you not-
I'm a believer.
I know you're a believer.
But
sir.
hold on, we're going somewhere. You see, this is why people pay tithe and offering without knowing why they are paying it.
It's fair, quoi.
First of all, you need to let people know why they are getting into something.
Okay.
I've just said adultery is right. I've not asked anybody to have a side chick. But what I'm saying is that
Sorry.
don't make general statements when you have a peculiar matter.
But I did not make a general
You
statement.
did by saying side chick is a sin.
But yeah,
And I
infidelity
said,
is a sin.
fine. What I'm telling you is that infidelity is a sin according to your faith,
Yes.
which is Christianity, right?
Yes.
Cheating is infidelity.
Yes.
Now, if the side chick scenario is based on that, you are cheating on your spouse.
Yes.
There's no reason your spouse does not have the information. You have a relationship with somebody else and you have gone to go and meet another person and you're keeping that person as a side chick. It's a sin. But what I said is that don't term side chick the sin. The sin is infidelity. The sin is you cheating on your spouse. The sin is the fact that you're having another relationship outside of what you have with your spouse.
Right.
Not calling side chick the sin. Side chick is not the sin. Because when you x-ray situations, you're going to find one or two scenarios where someone has a side chick and it is not cheating.
Okay, let me agree with you. That's rare occasion. That's in very rare occasion.
And as long as there's probability, law of probability, as long as it's possible, then it should be considered.
Yes.
So let us not come and say, we coming to say side chick is a sin will make us myopic. That's the point I'm trying to make. What is sin is infidelity.
Yes. Adultery.
And if any,
Fornication.
yes, adultery, fornication, that's a sin. And if there's any case or any scenario where you're keeping side chick falls within that, you have committed sin. But there are also genuine cases, and I've told you, it could be medical. It could be medical. There could be marriages that by accident or something, there will be need for somebody else to come in for procreation.
Okay, so after
In
procreation,
that case, is that person not a side chick? Is a side chick.
so after the procreation,
Why are you talking about after?
No. How is that person?
how you
Why
define?
not
See,
a side
if I listen to your episode,
That's not a side
if we
chick.
watch,
That's not a side
see,
chick.
Why?
sir,
You just
if we
say
watch
one
your
off now.
episode,
Who
if
told
you
you
watch
that's
your
a side
episode,
chick?
sir,
Eh?
if you watch your episode of
That's
how
not
you
side
define
chick.
side chick,
Side
if
chick,
you
that's
play
not
back
a
your
side
episode
chick, yeah.
of how you define side chick,
Then
Eh.
that's not a side chick.
you can't call it. I'm using your own. I wish I can play that video back.
I know my definition
so-
now.
so
I
you are
said
talk-
this relationship outside
Yes.
relationship.
Now, so
So
this.
now, what you want to establish now is that it is wrong to have two relationships.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
What are you
You are
saying?
I'm trying to say that case you are considering,
Yeah.
maybe the woman cannot give birth or something.
Or the man.
Then the woman is in consent. It happened in the Bible now.
Okay.
Where Sarah went to meet Abraham. Say, Alpha,
That's not side chick.
I'm coming now. Alpha, help me. I'm coming. Help me run this thing. Right. So that situation in itself is not a side chick thing, like you have said now. It's just
Okay.
it's a business. We are coming here. Help me run my husband.
Come on, not true. Abraham.
Make Bele
Abraham and
happen,
Sarah.
right?
Okay,
But
okay.
if it now becomes a side chick, if the man and the woman, aside from the business
Yeah,
that
now
we have agreed,
continue
they can still
to-
continue their
They start
relationship.
loving.
They start loving. That is now a side chick process. That's when I can agree that's a side chick. So that one, I don't think any woman will consent to continue. But that
What
to
about
go beyond
societies
business.
that allow a bank to have more than one?
So if it's allowed to more than one wife, then if you instead of having a side chick, then go and marry the woman. That's it.
Okay.
Nobody will stop you from marrying the woman. I feel like if the culture, right, whether religion or culture whatsoever, now accepts multiple spouses, then why not go for it instead of that doing it be like you have said without the consent of your wife? Then it's infidelity already. So where I'm coming from is that in many cases, right? In more cases, right? You can't have a side chick without first crossing the boundary of infidelity.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Except in the cases you have said that your wife or your husband allowed you to go.
You are very right. You cannot have a side chick without what?
Crossing the boundary of infidelity.
And what is sin? It is that boundary.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I want you to call that
boundary.
I have
accepted. Now let's move to the next comment.
Instead of you just what? Let me tell you what.
It's an understanding thing.
Let me tell you what I said that, because if you say side chick is a sin, then you are protecting people who will not get to the point of side chicking.
Yes, I get.
But will cross that boundary.
We'll cross that.
So let them know
that before you
just say you even reason now first.
That's what Jesus
said.
Just
say, according to the Bible, said that just say you look woman lustfully. You know, the Bible said, the guy say hold us for work. He said just say you look am.
So that's what I want you to establish, that it is not until you get to that point.
I get the point.
You don't even sin before you even near the side chick self.
So the person will type this comment.
According to CDO now, if you are embarking on the side chick propaganda, you have committed sin.
Before you even
get there. That's what I'm saying. I say committed. I use past
tense. According to CDO, according to CDO, once you look at a woman lustfully, you have sinned.
Oh, please, see, Ken, this will be the first thing in the edit.
Yeah.
According those women that are attacking CDO will know.
According to my master Jesus Christ.
Yes. CDO,
according to my master Jesus Christ, that once you look at a woman lustfully,
so they don't change that for you. We need to push this narrative.
Okay. What does it mean to look at a woman lustfully?
It simply means if you open your eyes. So let me tell you
in this country that we are, just open your eye.
Let me tell you what it means. What it means is that nobody is holy.
That's what it means.
Absolutely.
Nobody,
and that's where I'm going with that question.
That's why Charlie.
I want women to know, because a woman will say, "My daddy in the Lord, my this one, the man is hugging you, squeezing your body up and down." Nobody is holy.
And what daddy in the Lord's hugs and speaks.
That's why we cannot attain righteousness by our works.
Don't go and leave your husband and carry yourself and put in somebody's hand and say, "Oh no, we're brothers." We're this. Nobody is holy. Jesus said by himself that it is not even until you even cheat or fornicate or even go and have sex. He said, once you look at a woman lustfully, lustfully.
I feel that's why we cannot attain righteousness by works.
See, this thing you're saying, I think we need to look at it very well. Because lust is when you are actually thinking about having sex with the person.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm saying, so the question I'm asking now.
You see why you are licking his mouth down? Once the mouth of your spirit leaks itself, looking at the woman.
Wait now.
The mouth of your spirit.
So looking at somebody lustfully is this. I think if I want to define it. I look at somebody and I imagine,
think
and you think about the person's nakedness and think about what it will look like.
What it will feel like.
Thinking about the person lustfully. You're looking at the person lustfully.
So if you see a woman now, a shapely woman with a nice figure, how do you recognize she has a nice figure?
Look away now.
Say look away. No, be me look away.
We have to differentiate. We have to find a way to draw the line between looking lustfully and alive.
Technically,
once you notice anything for woman, but you don't look lustfully.
Like what? No. She's tall. She's fair.
No. You know he's right actually.
Yes.
Come close to mic. Come close to this mic.
Once you look a woman.
Somebody wants to say something contrary. No, tell us. Come, Mike.
What do you want to say contrary?
Pimo.
Okay, so I don't agree that the moment you look at someone as a lady that you've that's lost. No, that's
how do you know she's shapely?
There's a part where you can look at something and admire the work of God.
Look at admiration.
So what's the difference between admiration and lust? Let's define it.
Admire the work of God.
Let's define it.
For example,
you are the chief inspection officer.
For example,
chief inspection officer will greet you.
For example, there can be a meal on the table.
Yeah.
And then I look at the meal and I'm like, oh, this is nice. But I'm not.
You are salivating already.
No. this
Bro,
is nice, but I'm not
once-
interested.
no,
and then
no.
there's the part where I can
For you
look
to
at the
want to-
meal,
why
and
do you
I'm
look at
not
the meal as a
interested.
meal?
Hold on.
So I don't.
You are
For
mixing-
example,
no.
Job said something. Job said, "I have made a covenant with my eyes that I will not look upon the maiden." Does that mean he was blind?
He's
No.
no.
But what
He
he
was
was saying
lying.
is that he was not going to look at them
lustfully.
lustfully.
He was
Right.
So
lying.
there's the part where you
Don't
can
mind him, he
look,
lied.
and then there's the part where you cannot
Bro,
also look lustfully.
he lied.
Admiration based on definition.
Which one is
It is-
admiration?
No, we're trying to define between. So you're admiring somebody and you're looking
you're
at somebody
looking
lustfully.
lustfully.
Okay,
I want to
you should
differentiate
all
it.
this thing. Listen, let me tell you.
Admiration is where this thing goes.
But are you
now.
saying you can't look at somebody
Respect
and
and
admire
warm
the person?
approval? That's like the quick word.
Respect
without
and warm
looking
approval.
lustful.
Yes, for admiration.
Close this AI. I want you to close this
What
AI.
is warm
Warm
approval?
approval.
What is warm approval? Do you know what
Warm
warm means?
approval. Warm.
Do you know in
You're talking about
in the case
warm.
of a man and woman, do you know what warm means?
What is
Do you
warmth?
know what warm is?
Close. I
Wait,
want you.
I can admire anything.
Come on, this AI
If I
again.
admire my fellow man, am I looking at the person lustfully? No. I just say, as your hair fine.
They will not call it
If I
warm
tell a woman I
approval.
like your hair, doesn't mean I'm looking at her lustfully.
Right.
Yes, you are.
That's not lustful. That's
You
not
are.
But are
lustful
you
look.
saying
No,
that
no,
you
no,
can't
no, no,
look
no.
at, you
That's
can't
not it.
admire
You
a
can admire
woman
people
and
without
you're not
being
looking at her
lustful.
lustfully?
See, listen,
It
let me
depends
tell
on
you.
which part of the
Do you
body
know
you're
why
looking
Christ
at.
said that?
Let's also go
Christ
there.
wanted
Okay.
us to know that we are all sinners. Christ wanted us to know that there's nothing good. The Bible said that the heart of man is desperately wicked and deceitful. Do you know what desperately means? It's constantly acting in the area of wickedness and deceit.
So that's why we can't attain righteousness by works. I agree.
True. Exactly.
True.
Once you behold a woman and you are able to identify her giftings,
When we say we only talk about lustfulness, about man to woman, what of woman to man? Well, I don't understand. See, the only men they lust me.
Right.
Say woman not feel lust
It's
to
both
man.
ways now.
my English would they
both
speak
ways.
now. It's both ways
It's
now.
both ways.
Because there's a way we always focus on only
Once
men.
you
Men,
are look at
rest.
the woman and you are able to identify and appreciate her endowment, you have sinned.
Jesus.
Appreciate.
Yes.
Appreciate.
Recognize and appreciate. Whether you stop
Thank
at
God for
recognition,
Jesus. Last, thank God for Jesus.
you have sinned.
Thank God I'm righteous. I'm the righteousness of God.
That's
So does
why,
that mean you mustn't look at a woman?
if possible,
Eh?
if
I said,
possible.
thank God for Jesus.
You have to block your eyes with
So
that.
that means
Thank God for
we have
When
Jesus.
you see, when you see a woman,
Yes.
just keep your eyes on her forehead.
See, Dio,
You're
thank
not
God for
supposed to.
Jesus.
You're not supposed to
If
know.
not be Jesus like this, constant sin and Abi.
You're not supposed. Okay, let me ask you a question.
So we don't need debate too.
No, we're not. If your mother walks in here with a friend of hers now, your mother walks in with a friend of hers now, and she says, Tiwa, this is my classmate in secondary school. You come and greet her, well done, auntie, greet her, hug her. If she walks out of this office and I ask you that, what's that woman's shape like? Would you remember? You will not.
No.
I will most likely not.
You will not.
Exactly.
Do you know why you don't remember?
Because I'm not
My
interested
mother,
now.
I'm
Well, exactly. If your sister
Bring a friend.
walks in with her friend and says,
Young boy.
oh,
I'm a single
You
young
have
boy.
answered my
Lips
question.
already.
No, my lips is dry. It's not because of the girl. I know the place my lips is dry. No, my lips dry.
He has answered my
Even
question.
before we had this
One friend
conversation,
in
I've been
particular.
licking my lips. That's
You
why
don't-
you
you've
don't feel
answered
loud.
my question.
I mean, see,
Oh, God.
we have to define. We have to draw the
the
line.
minute you recognize the endowment, the minute you recognize
That's why I
the
say,
beauty,
thank God, say
the minute you recognize the beauty
Thank God, say-
of a woman,
God doesn't
Eh?
count my sin again.
your spirit, your internal senses, the lips of your internal senses don't lick himself.
But see, thank God, say Jesus Christ, don't run am for me. So no be my works.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm trying to tell you now, but we have to find a way to draw this line. I'm a young boy, right? I want to get married soon. I'm a young.
So let me tell you the answer to what we're
How do I
saying.
look for
Right.
a wife?
Let me tell you the answer to what we're
I'm
saying.
searching.
Hold on, let me tell you the answer to what we're saying, which is what Mo was actually trying to say.
Yeah.
There's a place for control,
Yes,
discipline.
actually, and discipline. Yes.
Discipline is not the absence of reality.
Thank you.
Discipline is your ability.
To control.
That's it.
So I can look and say, no, this is not where I'm going.
So
I move
let
on.
us not pretend. A beautiful woman is a beautiful
Right.
woman. A shapely
True.
woman is a shapely woman.
True.
I'm a single
A
boy.
fine backside is a fine backside. But what happens? I am disciplined enough to know that I have no business with this.
Thank you.
It's just like driving into Banana Island now and seeing beautiful homes. Will I not admit that they are beautiful homes?
True.
But I know I don't have the kind of money to pay
Right.
for the home.
Right.
So I can't stand in front of the house and start salivating that I'm going to sleep in this house today.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You understand?
Right.
So my discipline and training, otherwise I'm going to rob.
Yes.
True.
True.
I will steal, which is the same thing.
If
So
you-
when you see a woman and you are not able to control yourself,
You are
that
going
this one,
to
you don't
commit.
consign me, you
Uh-huh.
go thief.
Yes.
And that thievery is the fornication and adultery you're talking about.
We're on the same page now.
So, but let you people not come to confuse us. Like, bro, say you go look, you say you want to admire the work of God.
So, see, what if I want to understand what Mo is saying, what Mo is saying is the same thing you are saying. There's a place for discipline. I see this thing, I know that. You see, if I never recognize, say, no problem, I know even discipline myself against that.
Exactly.
So my bank has them say, oh no.
This one.
I got first lost first.
Exactly.
No. Move away. I'll come move
It's
out.
just like a guy.
Mm-hmm.
If you have beautiful sisters, you know you have beautiful sisters.
Yeah.
But you know your sense is not fit to go in that direction.
Thank you.
Why? Because you have conditioned your mind. But it does not change the fact that you know that your sister is beautiful.
Yes.
That's why once you see anybody near your sister, your eye go red. Because you know what she carries.
Yes, I get. I get.
And that's why Christ said, look, and you have committed.
So you don't tell us. So we know if you walk.
So have we not established that
With these few points of
infidelity is a sin?
Infidelity is a sin.
Cheating is a sin.
Yes.
Lucre
It's a sin.
is a sin.
Yes.
So let us not just go and say it's side chick is sin.
So but that means that
Person wey even reach where side chick they don't.
you don't wine and dine with.
All right, T.Y., can you take a comment or two?
Another comment on where? Should I still be YouTube? I have a question I have one comment for CDO. Somebody saying that, what is this? This is still YouTube. You see, I totally disagree with this. In that case, I say, this man is not repping the kingdom. CDO, are you repping the kingdom?
I better leave these people. Judas, when they broke the bottle of alabaster, right?
Yes.
To pour the oil on the feet of Jesus Christ, what did Judas say?
There is a waste. You see the one that said that is a waste.
Someone says a waste.
Judas said that we should have sold this to use the money.
It was Judas that said it. It was Peter or someone.
No, not Judas.
Not Judas.
We should have sold this to
okay.
use the money to feed the poor.
Everything about Judas. They think
You understand?
business.
That same Judas now ain't go sell Jesus Christ. That person when they say CDO is not repping the condom. I'm sorry.
The kingdom.
You see Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit too much. See what Holy Spirit put my mouth. That's where that person is. Leave that person.
Somebody now said, this man needs to be protected at all costs. He's saying the pure truth. A lot of people wouldn't agree with
Flesh
him.
must be a man.
and blood
But
did
deep
not.
down, they know it is the truth.
Flesh and blood did not
Yes,
reveal that to
sir.
that guy. He knows.
Flesh and blood, you know.
But tell him not to worry about protection. Our Jehovah. You understand?
Instagram, go to
Has us
Instagram
covered
and take
already.
some.
So
Okay, Instagram. See you. Instagram. Why did I leave that place? I'm almost there. I was there earlier. Mama, are you there?
No. I'm still on YouTube. I'm
You're
still
still on
trying to
YouTube.
log on.
It says that, let me
Instagram
take,
has plenty comment. Ciao.
yeah, before you pick anyone, somebody's asking, so what perspective are we talking from? I think we've answered that
we've
question
made it
already.
clear now.
We're very
Exactly.
clear
No
now.
perspective
That
we're
question
talking
has been
from.
answered. What's
We-
our perspective again?
Before
Let
some
me be
people
sure.
think that we
Our
are...
perspective. Which perspective?
You see where are we coming from? What perspective are we coming from? We have
What-
answered the question, but I want to
we've
just be sure
answered
The
again.
perspective of the truth now.
Okay.
We're doing an expose
Yes.
on
Every
issues.
ground, yes. Oh, let me see. Who are we looking at? I saw Fioki said off mic, please. See
Yes,
and see you no go off mic like this. You don't even want the mic again. You don't know Fioki.
Fioki. Is it the guitarist?
Yes, now the Fioki.
Or is it the one that said
It's the one
that?
that said off mic.
Hey, yeah.
That's a finish work or what? What does that mean?
Now
No.
off mic can mean
And
different
then-
things. You say, please, sir, don't shake table.
Don't
You try to
expose,
tell them,
don't
don't
expose,
expose this
don't
thing.
expose them.
Because we are shaking table. Which let me see. I define comment to
Somebody says, you people will have money and just come and be spewing nonsense. Imagine what this man is
at
saying.
least he acknowledged that
We have money.
there's money. That's the one I want to think of.
But how does that
see,
connect?
let me tell you one thing about comment. I usually don't respond to comments on social media. You know, social media is where people come to vent. So most times when people come to social media, they come from the angle where they affect them. You understand? So most times when people come on social media, what they say is a reflection of what they are going through.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Yeah.
So most times, just humor them. What have we done that shows money? Why would this person come and say, you people have money? Or
You look and
And if you say we don't do podcast,
You look and
it's money to
feel-
do podcast.
which look and feel, you know, nothing about
and
background.
the way you do.
How do I look?
You know, you look.
Posh.
No, but in Nigeria,
It's
they
evident.
feel like anybody who can sit down and be
they
like
don't
this.
have
Now
a
if you say you get
problem.
money, because you don't chop belly full.
I
What
see
that
one
person
comment.
is trying to say is that you don't chop.
I see one comment here. I have a
Yeah,
comment.
because what we're saying maybe has nothing to do with him. If he was maybe in a relationship where the spouse is not paying attention to him or her anymore,
Right.
you understand? Or if you've been in an abusive relationship or you've been neglected or you are a victim of what we're talking about, it will make meaning to you.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It could be somebody reading to pass his exam. It could be somebody who is owing a bank. I saw one video of one guy where Pampe called carry. When they shout, say, let me call my mother, let me call my mother. So you don't know what the person is going through. Most times when I see comments on social media, I just see it as people venting. You know, it's a good
I have one
place
comment here, sir.
for people to come and vent.
I have one
Yeah, go
comment.
ahead.
He said, so this one, I don't know. He said, pastors are now picked on. Please, let's remain focused on the topic of discussion.
I don't understand the comments.
So I think maybe we talked about when there was a point where we talked about even pastors have side chick.
But
You
pastors have side chicks. Didn't you see in comment one girl who said that she almost got raped by her pastor?
Really?
Yes, now.
Yes, now someone
We
responded.
need to bring that topic
Someone responded now.
Yes, now. That was a long comment.
Are you
on
serious?
Leader Cage blog.
No,
On
I think it was on YouTube. Are you sure
Eh,
it was on Leader? Yes.
we have to put it
The
up.
lady there said
Check
that
it,
the
check
pastor was even denying owning
She took her
a
time
ministry.
to narrate the
Yes.
Wait, to me, I find them.
So,
The
but there's
person deleted
see,
the
listen.
comment
The
already.
person
Let's-
deleted it already.
Let's
I
let's not get distracted. We're not attacking any pastor. I'm
Right.
sure
I think we need to make that.
our brother here is a pastor too now. So are we going to attack him?
No,
Are you
I'm
not
not
a
a
pastor?
pastor, no.
Oh, really?
Pastor Ken, sir. You just met ordination.
I'm not a pastor.
So there's no attack
But I'm a
on
man
the,
of God.
there's no attack on the church. There's no
Right.
attack on
Okay,
any pastor.
that's what I want us
Let's
to
make
clarify.
something very clear.
Yes.
See, I am more believer than any believer I know. You understand?
Right.
But we are exposing doctrinal issues. We are exposing doctrinal issues that people have refused to address, be it in the church, be it on the streets, wherever. That's what we are doing. That's what we have come to do, to expose doctrinal issues, lies that have been said over the years. We just had a few again recently that people are telling themselves. You said something this morning that pastors are busy attacking themselves. We will expose them. We're not going to call anybody's name because we have respect for people and their offices. You understand? But we cannot continue allowing people confuse people and share falsehood.
Yeah.
Then there are some occurrences, even moved by the Spirit of God, that are meant to just come and go, that people have turned into a doctrine.
Yeah.
That's what we are after. That's what we are against. We want to speak against those. We want to point people to where they will learn, get knowledge, study, know God, know His Word for yourself. Don't let anybody come and interpret the Bible to you. These things are written purely in black and white. When I asked Ken to show me where in the Bible they spoke about premarital counseling. Somebody called me on the phone and was asking me, why am I speaking against premarital counseling? But it's not biblical. And I maintain what I said.
But it's not biblical. It doesn't make it wrong.
Yeah, he didn't say. He didn't
But
say.
he
He didn't actually say it's wrong. He
I am
didn't
not
actually-
saying it's wrong and I'm not saying it's right.
Okay.
So if it is not biblical, why are you enforcing it on everybody? Why must every member who wants to get married go through that? Why are people sent out of the church because they have not gone through counseling? Let me blow your mind that the best marriages we have in the world today were not made in the church. Can I tell you that more than 50% of the pastors who are married today did not marry in the church? Can I tell you that most of the daddy GOs and most of the mommy GOs you are seeing today, their union, were not in the church? Have they not had successful marriages? Do you want me to call their names? The most successful marriages in Nigeria, I can point them out and show you that none.
So what's our definition of successful marriage?
Successful marriage is marriage made in heaven. Let the Holy Spirit lead you to the woman that is your own.
Okay.
And by the dictates of the scripture, you live with her peacefully.
So why I pointed that comment.
Compatibility.
Why I put that comment is just for us to verify that we are not. This podcast is not pointing out. We're not attacking pastors or anything. Like I've said, we are just
The
establishing
Bible said that
doctrines
by
that
their
are not
fruits you shall
right.
know them. We don't have to point out to anybody. Anybody who is discerning, anybody who knows the word of God, who has the Spirit of God, listening to us, we know where we're coming from. We don't want to see, listen, we just put this here because we want to put it. We're not putting it here to convince anybody. When you listen to the things we say, you will know the spirit behind what we're saying.
Right.
Which is important. The Bible said, test all spirits.
Right.
We've gotten to the point where people are not even ready to test spirits anymore. They just want to hear and take a hook, line, and sinker. That's the problem. When I finish speaking, go back, open your scriptures, open your Bible, open your dictionary, open books of history, open encyclopedias, and confirm the things I have said. Then you know the spirit behind what I'm saying. And you know what my inspiration is. That's what is important. That's why I'm talking. I'm not speaking to convince you that I'm from one kingdom. Or somebody said, the person who said you're not repping the kingdom, he didn't even mention the kingdom that he wants me to rep. He just said the kingdom. Don't you know that there's kingdom of darkness?
Yeah.
Am I repping the kingdom of darkness? No. So the person is right. I'm not repping the kingdom. Which kingdom?
I get. So
Mo wants to
okay,
say
we have another
something.
comment.
Yes, sir. So, about the counseling part, sir, I don't agree with that because the Bible says that.
Yeah, I agree with what?
I don't agree that premarital counseling is wrong. Why? Because there's the part of counseling in the body of Christ. The Bible says that where there is no counsel, people fail. But in the midst of counsel, there is safety.
Yes.
So there is the
Yeah,
part
but you didn't
whereby
say premarital counseling.
Counsel can be anything now.
counsel can be anything. So there is the part whereby there are people in the church, they don't know left from right. And then it is the counsel
And
from
they
the
want to
man
get
of
married.
God in the church
let me
or
finish.
wherever.
They don't know.
or
They don't know
whatever.
left.
No,
No, it is the counsel
Hold
from
on,
either
let
the
him finish.
man of God or maybe the directorates in the
I hope
church.
your mic is your voice is
Yeah.
reaching the
And
mic.
then the directorates in the church that would help them in that marriage. And these are things
Okay.
that personally by themselves, they might not be able to know. Why? Because the Bible says that they gave them pastors to teach them. So there is the place of teaching of the pastors, which is also counseling. So you can't just write it off that, it is not needed.
I'm writing it off and I will tell you why. What you said is very ambiguous. The Bible spoke about counseling. The Bible did not talk about premarital counseling.
Yes, but counseling
The
is
Bible
counseling.
did not even talk about counseling. Does a pastor counsel you for your exam? Did the pastor counsel you about your outfits? Did the pastor counsel you about feeding?
We've had
Did the
pastors
pastor
talk
counsel-
about how
hold
you
on,
should dress nice.
Hold on. Did the pastor counsel you about your diet? Do you know more people die because of their diet than their marriages in Nigeria? Even in the body of Christ. Are you
But
aware?
we've had pastors talk about how you should
How many
eat
times do
also.
they talk about it? They insist that before anybody marries, the person will come for premarital counseling. And I'm telling you that is unbiblical. The Bible said that he who finds a wife, I said it that day. For Bible to say he who finds a wife means that even before your pastor knows the person is a wife already.
But people they go counseling
The Bible
outside
did not
church
say.
now.
The Bible did not say when you want to go searching for a wife, go with your pastor. The Bible said, he who finds a wife, my pastor meets the woman that is my wife as my wife. My pastor will not meet that woman as the person I want to marry. That's what the Bible is saying. And that's what I'm saying. Counseling is you as a believer. The minute you become a believer, you need counsel.
So I want to ask a question. Even if I'm in between here, can your mother counsel you in terms of
Nobody
marriage?
can counsel you for marriage.
So I know. So are you trying to say that it's not good to take counsel?
that-
Means
that's-
no,
that's-
there are
that's
two
too-
different
that's
things.
so far.
There are
Okay.
two different things.
Okay.
There are two different things.
Okay.
We are led by the Spirit of God. As I'm sitting with you right now, if the Spirit of God lays it in my heart to come and counsel you about something you want to do, I will. But when I set up an office and I say everybody who wants to marry must come here for me to counsel
Okay, I see
them,
I see where the
an
problem is now.
office.
I see where the problem is. You are trying to take away the must.
Then let me also tell you, no, I'm not taking
If I
away the
come
most.
willingly, say, okay, come and advise me.
Wait, I'm coming. If you come willingly for me to advise you, it's no longer premarital. That premarital counseling automatically defeats the purpose.
Please,
And-
before I marry, I say, Sidio, come and
Bro,
come and
You
counsel me.
cannot, even the counseling you're talking about, you cannot teach what you don't know.
Right.
You have been married for a few
How
years.
can you teach me about a woman you don't know?
No, see, I
The
think
pastor that is counseling you, let him put his marriage on the screen. Let us
I think that
experience.
nobody's qualified to counsel. Is that what you're saying? There are some people that are certified marriage counselors.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about pastor
I was
yet.
coming
I'm even
to that.
taking religion out of
Is
it
there
now.
a place
People
for
go, even weddings, even marriages have been for a while. They still go for counseling.
Listen
They
to
still
me.
go for therapy.
Listen
They
to
still
me.
go for those
let's
things.
let's not get confused.
Okay.
We're not talking about marriage.
Okay.
right?
If you are in a marriage and you need counseling, you can seek marriage counselors.
Okay.
Listen to me.
Yes. Okay.
When a young man
Well, you can
wants
also
to
seek
take a
pastors,
wife,
can't you?
when a young man wants to take a wife,
Mhm.
and you are insisting that the young couple must go through pre-marital counseling, I am telling you that is unbiblical and you do not have the knowledge or the right or the information.
I understand. Sha.
Because there is nobody, I repeat, no boy and girl under this sun will walk into your office and tell you the truth about their relationship.
Actually, very true.
So what are you canceling?
So I get your point.
When
They
people,
don't have the
when
right
people
to make
need
it compulsory.
marriage counseling, they can approach you on their own.
Yes.
By their volition, if they come to you as a pastor to cancel them, please go ahead. Just the same way anybody who needs counseling will come. Can a pastor insist in a church that every church member must come for counseling?
No.
So why will he insist that everybody who wants to marry must come for counseling?
I think they don't do it based on biblical
It's
practice.
a scam.
It's just based on.
I just think
this
It
church.
is control.
You do
I think I know what
This
you're
is
saying.
control. That's what the point I'm trying to make. These are indices. These are yardsticks. These are formats that they have put in place for control.
Correct.
If from the first day you're getting married, I'm the authority. I will remain the authority in your marriage until Jesus returns.
No, but there are even some that pastors don't necessarily counsel.
It's a rule.
There's a committee.
Is the committee not under the instruction of the pastor? What are you saying? Is the pastor now? It's just like when government signs your wedding certificate. You come and tell me, no, it's not the government that signed it, so it's one man in Alausa. The seal is the seal of the government. The man sitting to cancel you is cancelled under the authority of the pastor, so he's the pastor.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Two things. First of all, that comment you were looking for that lady said is in Linda Ikeji.
Okay, can I post
It's actually there.
Can I put the screenshot?
I can do a screenshot. That's number one. Then number two, I think generally, because I'm sure you can't take all the comments right now. I think generally what people are really, happy on is that whole having sex 20 times a day.
Yeah.
It would be nice, you understand?
So,
So let me read somebody's comment based on that. Somebody said, you want
Let's read that comment. Let's read the comment before you talk.
Somebody
Let's read
said,
the comment.
if your wife doesn't have a help, you don't give helping hands, and only her would have to cook, clean, nurture kids, and still work. Then she will be tired most times, and sex will be the last thing on her mind after a hard day's job. That's the reality of many women.
Right.
That's what somebody said. So lots of people are saying something like this.
So
just
first of all, I don't know. I did literature in secondary school, and when I speak, I use a lot of
yes, that's what I want people to know.
figures of speech
and hyperbole.
You understand? So when I said if your husband wants to have sex 20 times a day, be ready for 20 times. It's just a figure of speech.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that 20 times.
I think anybody will understand. I just wanted that somebody
But hold on,
but
that's what I have said now is not watering down what I said earlier. In as much as that 20 times is figure of speech, but if for any reason there's still a man who wants to knock 20 times, the wife should be ready. Listen, that's why before you marry, you must be sure of the person you want to marry. You understand?
Yeah.
You must be sure of the person you want to marry. That's the point I'm trying to bring out there. The woman who's talking about doing the chores and blah, 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 blah. And remember also what I said there. I said there's a place for sacrifice in marriage.
Yes.
I can deny myself so many things.
Because
of
my spouse.
Of your spouse. Exactly. Yeah. You understand? So by saying that, does that mean you want to come and start? You can't want to. If your spouse loves you and you have worked, you have done chores, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And that your spouse is still having urge when you don't have urge,
yes.
and you cannot get over it, then I don't know why you married the person.
Is it sensitive
Do you
actually?
even know something? See, let me tell you, you see there's something that people miss. You see physical stress and mental stress. They are the same thing, no? In fact, as far as I'm concerned, mental stress is worse because you can't get over it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mental stress, if you sleep, you wake up, it's still there. Yeah. Physical stress, if you relax, drink my chamomile tea or something, do something relaxing, take a bath or something, whatever it is, you might just feel relaxed, just might. Why am I saying this? Because some people, especially women, say that, I've been working all day, I'm carrying children, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I don't feel like anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If the other person has mental stress, and according to what CDO has said now, he still has the urge, let everybody bring out their urge. Because everybody is stressed on different levels.
Unfair.
Maybe says can you calm the stress?
Bro, it's also very unfair. Because, people just talk. I saw somebody writing that with all the problem in Nigeria, this is what you people are, sex is what people are talking about. Women like that. It was the woman that wrote that I laughed. I'm not saying she's the one, so she will come tomorrow to attack me that I said that. But you see people who are in self-denial. Before you know, those are the kind of women that drivers end up sleeping with.
God forbid.
People who run away from reality. Sex is a major reality in our society.
The major problem.
And when I say this, is people don't understand. I've moved around. I've worked with organizations that have to keep me out all night. And I see what married women do. I've been in a hotel before. A woman was on the phone with the husband that she was walking in for a meeting. Dressed in suit. That woman cannot be less than a GM in a bank because I saw her official car. Parks came down, entered the hotel to go and meet about a 25-year-old boy. Jobless boy. They knocked in that hotel till evening.
I see you. What if they were gisting first?
They were not gisting, I know the boy. You understand? Those are the people that come out on social media tomorrow and tell me that of all the problem in the world, sex is what you're talking about. But meanwhile, you're not getting enough at home, or you're not getting it the way you want it, and you're getting it outside and pretending. She may come out from that hotel and go straight for evening service, where she's going to drop her tithe, and the pastor will say, sister, so person is doing well. But she's living that life because she's not able to open up to the husband and say, guy, listen, you know they do it as I want. Same thing with men. Do you know what men are suffering? Do you know what men are doing? So many things they want to do, their fantasies they want to live out, they cannot do it at home. They go and show their wives, do whatever they want to do, and quietly come back home. When they come back home, they tell you they've been in the meeting. I remember 2007. You know me, I like saying it the way it is. 2007, I was standing in front of a nightclub in Victoria Island. I'm not going to mention the name of the club. It was that thing that killed that club. 2:30 a.m. We were in the club and we came out to just, do one or two. Chopping them, in fact, in front of the club. And the guy walked out of the club on the phone with the wife, telling the wife that he was in a meeting, saying, your guy want to use Wahala, kill him here. As he was talking on the phone, he crossed the road, got in his car, finished the conversation, came out from that car to cross the road again, the car killed him. Wow. 9 people died in front of that club that night. This guy was one of them. I was standing there. And a girl ran out from that same club, 19-year-old girl from University of Port Harcourt, crying.
Wow.
She just came into Port Harcourt to come and be with the boy. Now tell me why this guy will bring a Port Harcourt 19-year-old girl from the university and lie to the wife that he was in the office and he got killed in front of club.
And so
2007, if I tell you the date, you will know the club. That was the end of that club.
But my point is, now are you trying to? I want to get the point where we are going to with this.
Where I'm going with this is that there are so many things happening between spouses in marriages that people are concealing. Because they don't want to face the reality and tell themselves the truth. Actually. And I have come out to the truth. And I'm saying it. And people are attacking me and saying different things. But it is the truth. Anybody who wants to tell themselves the truth, tell them the truth. Most of the people who will attack what I'm saying are either girls sleeping with somebody's husband, or women that are cheating on their husband, or women who know that the man they are with is running things.
I get, but I still need one more episode to balance that our last episode.
You will even have
one because I said no only man. We need to face the other side.
Yeah,
we have to go to the side because if you see all these comments, I can see a lot of ladies just come and say, you just look like you came for them. So I need you to do another. We need to do another episode so that we attack the boys, the men.
I have not come for anybody. But I felt
like you were supporting the men.
I was answering questions based on the questions Ken asked.
Right.
So that's why I said the next episode we have to tip towards the other angle.
He brings it. We'll go into it now.
Ken, but I hope you know. I'm speaking for the poor masses.
That's other angle.
Listen, I hope you know that in every relationship, 70 to 80% of the success or failure of a relationship depends on the woman.
Absolutely.
But they say it takes two to tango.
No, it's not complete to that tangos this time around.
So it's 2.5.
That two that is tangling, the woman is one full one. The other one that is the man, the woman's brain is half of that man's one.
Why is there a lot on the woman?
Why is that? Let's know.
Why is there a lot on the woman? Because the woman is wiser than the man.
I'm just saying so for the first time.
Why can you be hearing for the first time? Was it not Eve that gave Adam apple to eat?
So does it mean the woman is wiser?
Even though Adam knew that she was doing the wrong thing.
What do you mean by so? Does that mean she's wiser?
Why do you think the serpent went to Eve instead of Adam?
It's because he feels that it will be easier to deceive the woman than the man. No. So do you think it's because he knows that the woman is wiser?
He knew that the woman can easily convince.
And that's what I'm saying. I said that
he knew the woman can easily convince the man.
But he cannot convince the man.
No.
So does it make the woman wiser?
He could have, hold on. If the serpent went to Adam, he wouldn't have achieved his aim.
Why?
Because he will convince Adam and Adam will not be able to convince Eve.
Why can't you convince Eve?
Because
A man can convince a woman to marry him. A man that can convince a woman
marry who she does not want to marry.
Yes.
Leave that one.
No.
See, let's
They tell me that.
you're always talking about let's stay focused.
Let me tell you.
Let's focus.
I used to think like you. I used to think like you till 1999, 2000.
Historical
My little niece came to me and told me, Uncle, do you know women are wiser than men? I said no. And she gave me 5 points. 5 points that I could not sleep that night. And I thought about it.
Can you give me the 5 points? I will not sleep.
No, you cannot get it for free.
Let me know.
You cannot get it for free, but I will leave you with one. I will leave you with one.
So we should come for marital
Wait,
counseling.
I want to leave you with one.
Let's quickly
I
hear
want to
the
leave you
one
with
now.
one.
One, get it.
For every home where you have husband and wife, the husband family members cannot be as comfortable as the wife's family members in that house. Why?
Damn.
Maybe I'm not married, so I'm unable to answer that question.
Go out and ask people who are married. If they can answer the question, then I'll come. I'll give you the remaining 4. For every home, including Bola Ahmed Tinubu's house, including the governor of Lagos, including Pastor Adeboye, including any family where you have husband and wife, the members or the relatives of the wife are usually more comfortable in that house than the relatives.
I feel
of
maybe because I feel that
because the woman
runs
is
home.
wiser. When 2 people come together, for one person to run the other person, the person is wiser now.
Okay, so
This is very simple.
So why then is the man the head?
The man
I'm
is
just
the
trying
head.
to probe
The
this
man is the
thing
head
further.
because God just made the man the head.
So it's not because it's
It's
wife.
the same thing British people
can't-
did. Hold on. The same thing British people did. They came to Nigeria. They saw that Igbo men were the wisest. They put them under. God knows that the woman is wiser than the man. So it would have been a disadvantage if God gave woman head. The man would have been finished. How's God for be?
This is a plot twist here, man.
Yes. So what God has
Plot
done
twist.
What God has done is to make the less wise one the head.
But we're not here weaker vessel.
Hold on, I'm coming.
Physically. That one
Physically.
is physical strength.
It's not even, no, it's emotionally, not physically.
Actually, do you know this thing you have
The
said?
female body is tougher than the male body.
Okay, that's
what-
true, Sha.
I can agree with you.
Female
But women
body-
though, if my man won't give
My
back,
brother.
I'm not going to do him again.
Yeah.
No,
If I give her once,
listen,
they don't burn me
know
well.
from today that anything you hear me say, I'm an oracle. I'm called CDO, Ceasefire the Oracle. You know,
Oh, yes.
whatever you hear me say, is divine. The female body is stronger than the male body. Have you eaten female goat before? Bring male goat and female goat, cook them. Ask who eat human meat. How many women die of high blood pressure? With all the wahala they do. I keep saying it. I've said here last time that men can don't multitask. A woman will do
True.
everything in the house.
True.
Actually, I agree with you. But
Yet, she will not fall ill. Let the man do one major thing one day for house, he go sick.
and like you said, the female
True.
body is tougher in terms of, like you said, they can take
So
pressure.
I have told you
they
now
can do these
why
things.
God gave man head.
So the way you say the weaker vessel, what do we define it as? What,
Weaker
He
vessel
said
is
emotional now.
Emotional.
Measure it here now.
Is emotion. You are strong as your emotion. Don't you know? Your strength is your emotion. When you see 2 boys fight,
Yeah.
the one who will win is the one with the stronger emotion.
True.
It's not the one whose punch is stronger or not. It's the one whose mind is stronger. You understand? Same thing in a relationship. When you see 2 people in a relationship having issues, the one with the strong mind most times comes out on top. So if you come to a home where you have a man and a wife, and the man has his brothers in the house, they cannot go to the kitchen and take food. They will wait for madam to give them food. If the woman has her brothers in the house, they will jam the motor and leave it at the bus stop and come home. Nothing will happen. It's the woman's wisdom that she will use to manage their brother and pack him for one side.
and so I can tell that. So I agree, maybe, but not in all ramifications.
Let me give you another example again.
No, but in probability, the majority is the one that carries the vote.
Of course, we're not.
So you have some
what we're saying, yes.
exceptions that will prove the rule.
There are exceptions that will
Generally,
prove
So,
the rule.
but what I'm trying to say that overall, right? When you say women are wiser, yes, okay.
Women are wiser than men. Bring a 15-year-old boy here now. Bring a 15-year-old girl here now. Let's have a conversation with them. Bring a 40-year-old man and bring a 40-year-old woman here. Let's see what they are thinking. Let's ask them for their next 10 years plan. You don't understand? Bring a 25-year-old boy here and ask him what he wants to do in the next 10 years. He will tell you that he wants to buy a Rolls Royce.
Is this also the reason why older men marry younger?
Very good.
Yes, now.
You have given him the second point out of my 5. I didn't want to give him. I wanted to give only one.
Older men marry
younger
women because of their level of
wisdom.
Yes, now.
Now, when you see an older, I'll give you an example. A man is 50.
Mm-hmm.
He's the governor of a state. Very well, he controls the state. He has a 30-year-old girlfriend. The girl will call him, where are you? He says he's in Lagos, or he says he's in his state, Akwa Ibom, or in Enugu, or wherever. He said, what are people doing? He said, I'm thinking of having a ESCO meeting this weekend. You say, why now? Move it, Joe, cancel it. Come, let's go to Paris. Well, my friend is having a bed. Really, I should cancel it. Cancel it, Joe. I'm going to give you a good time. Oh, don't worry. The man is going to cancel the meeting immediately and he's on his way to Paris.
So you're trying to say that the men think more with their tools.
Wait now. Fast forward. You have a 50-year-old woman who is maybe a bank MD that has a sugar boy of 25. Turn the fire the boy to open my tell and make a cancel. Esco meeting. You
go change up and say, what's wrong with you?
You understand? After I change up and make a 10 minutes after I go call and say, what's wrong with you? I go to 75. I've paid for perfume for you. Go and collect it. You know, say na mumu. You go buy him Creed. The guy will go collect the perfume. Can't go they brag.
But that's not necessarily the situation in the community now, the societies now. When we see a lot of women complaining about how they've been mistreated by men, I'm not trying to disagree with you.
Mistreated by men of what category? Men of what age? You cannot see a woman.
No, open that kind of worms. See why?
You cannot see a woman to come and tell that she's maltreated by a guy that is her age. It is rare. By the time we were in SS3, our mates,
their boyfriends were graduates.
By the time we were in our first year, our mates, now men from town, they come to see them. Where they go? For NYSC camp, where we did. Girls, when we say Alaji.
Now the soldiers, they don't
of us can't go drink. Now, what are you saying?
That's the truth, actually.
True.
I know there are so many reasons for that female strength. So many reasons. You see the first thing. You see that monthly cycle.
Alone.
That monthly cycle alone that happens to women.
Normally. Man will just, please, can you remove my womb?
Yes.
A man will just look for a way to remove.
It's one of the first things that makes girls wise up very fast.
You get it?
Because the girl has to learn to keep a secret.
From the one.
Every month she's walking around and nobody knows what's going on with her.
From the age of 11, 12.
From like she's like 9, 10.
That time, that boy see the
fight and went to play ball.
Oh, yes.
You went to play till you reach 42.
Yes.
You walk on compete with her.
So, as in her body is not her own. And she has to be smiling.
Okay, so I think we should have one episode that talks about this. So, because I think that this kind of conversation, we have to have that kind of episode because what you're saying now is because it's making me feel like, oh, that's the ladies are actually not as they're not as weak as we think they are, because
no, they're not.
The society has made it look that way. Even the ladies don't even know how wise they are.
That's why they're revolting now. So
yes,
you see all this women inclusion, this one. That's why they are revolting. There's so much inside the woman that has been neglected that even the woman herself, you understand, have been forced to subdue for so long.
I think you need to know this. Many women don't know their wiser.
What they are doing now is that they're channeling it wrongly.
Yes.
They're telling it wrongly. So it is that rebellion that you're seeing, which is what the devil wants.
Yes, actually.
The woman, see, of all God's creation, the woman is complex. Is the most complex, most intelligent, hybrid of all God's creation. God created man, put him for ground, put his breath in him. The man stood up, started running around naked. He created the woman and had a walk with the woman, had a conversation with the woman to go and meet the man.
And if I might just add something to that, this thing you are saying now, you know, if you follow that story of creation, you understand, you know, the heavens and the earth were created. Oh, God looked at it, it was good. He did this. Oh, he did it, it was good. He looked at it, it was good. At some point, he said, it is not good for this man to be alone. It was only when he wanted to create the woman that suddenly it was no longer good.
Do you know that I've had conversations with some people and they think that because the woman was brought out of a man, that the woman is not the woman is a sub. I say that some people I've had that conversation. Some people say that God don't first create man. Then the woman is like a sub, and they brought the woman out of the man. People used to have that kind of understanding. So listening to you now can make us.
Let me now also blow your mind. Do you know the woman is the only creation that was made out of a finished material?
Exactly what I was thinking. You're a mind reader. Exactly what I was thinking.
So so I feel that more women need to hear these things and understand what they are.
If you're a scientist or if you're into sciences, you understand what it means to do an upgrade.
Yes, Pro Max.
You understand?
Yes, man
was made from clay, and God put in him the breath of life. Woman, he created from what he had already made. That's an upgrade.
Pro Max. That's the word for women.
So both the female brain, the female body, the female system, organs, everything is an upgrade. So for God to be fair, he put the man in charge. Or let me not say it that way, because if I say it that way, it will look like after God created the woman, he decided to put the man in charge. No, God is all-knowing. So what happened is that because God was creating a helpmeet for the man, somebody who will attend to him, he made that person a better version because of the weakness in man. You cannot create a robot that you are stronger than to work for you in your house. You understand? You cannot leave a building and build a weaker building to move into. So what God did with the woman was to make a better version of the man to cohabit with the man, so that in the man's weakness, he will find strength in the woman, but still subject to the man, because the man is the identity.
So could that be the reason why a lot of, I'm sorry, asking plenty of questions. So could that be the reason why a lot of women
marriage
can find it hard to submit? Could that be the reason why?
No, that's not the reason. The women who find it very hard to submit are women that have been indoctrinated. Women have been sold the wrong idea. Now, do you know the best performing women, if you check records, are women that have men behind them? The woman functions at her best when there's a man backing her, whether legitimately or illegitimately. Do you know that very strong women in offices, who people think are single, who people think don't have spouses, have one or two boys that will service them when it's needed?
Hey, what do you mean by service, sir?
Check the dictionary meaning of service.
I'm shy.
I'm talking about world leaders, captain of industries, women that are very powerful, and people think that, oh, this one is an Amazon, oh, there's no man in her life, don't mind them. When the lights are turned off, when the curtains are drawn, somebody shows up from somewhere to come and service them. They need it. The woman needs to be oiled by the man to function.
Indeed.
Those her emotions need a man to function properly. So what happens is that some women who have been sold the wrong narrative, who don't understand that, who think that they can run alone, then they become very mean, very stressed, and they malfunction. You know how a computer... Have you seen a robot malfunction before? Have you seen a robot? I'm sure you see movies.
Yes.
You've seen a malfunctioning robot.
Yes.
What a malfunctioning robot can do.
It will go against the program.
Yes. So that's what happens to a woman that does not have that male support back. And I said something here the last time, that in man, God created two vacuums, one for a spirit to feel and one for another human to feel. You understand?
Yes.
So for people who think that we just came here to just come and talk bullshit, they don't understand. The things we're discussing are fundamental issues. Things that, if they are right, if we get them properly in place, the world will be a very good place. Why? Do you know, most times when people commit crime, the first thing they want to do is to run a background check on them. You find out that they have grown without a proper home. So a peaceful union of a man and a woman will make the world a better place. And that's what we have come to talk about, because where this disunity starts from, it starts from small circle, the family unit. And what happens there? The woman creates an environment that is not peaceful, that is not enabling, that is not very conducive and convenient for the man to function. So she cannot function either. So she's like a corrupt program. And she starts running haywire thinking that is actually her configuration. So also the man, he starts running out, looking for what he will never find. So, and this is the devil's plan. The first thing the devil wants to do is to attack the family unit.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have not come here to preach because I'm not a preacher. I'm a man that has been sent to point out wrong doctrines, wrong teachings, wrong practices.
I just saw a comment. I think we can use that comment to just chill. He said, any married man when no get side chick is supposed to be worshipped, because the temptation when full outside. Not only God, the help man.
Now reality check be that now.
Now reality check. Because just fall down to when you talk about discipline.
Yes.
Who is that one? I want the old body.
Yeah.
For me, when I don't go cheat, I don't go get side chick when I go marry.
There's a trend now. Young people don't want to do anything. Young people just want to make money. Young people don't want to do anything anymore. Young people just want to make money. And the greatest discovery in the world right now is young girls finding out that these boobs and ass they carry is a gold mine.
Is it actually a good mine?
It is a good mine.
It is.
I just want to be sure.
No, it's a good mine.
A good mine, no.
It's a good mine.
That's why they'll spend money to go and even enhance it.
Exactly.
Investment.
Exactly. So
see, Ken won this why he's really trying to derail us.
So that guy who said that thing is
but
right.
I'm not derail us.
The temptation is he's right. The temptation is crazy.
It's crazy.
And let me tell you why it's crazy. Some years back, for you to see a girl outside and convince her to do anything with you, must be a bad guy. You must either have plenty money, or have lyrics, or have good looks.
Have doings.
There has to be doings. But my dear, it has gotten to the point where it's as if devil give the people target where they don't feel meat. You don't even need doings anymore. You don't even need anything. Just show up. You don't understand? Show up. My brother, all you need to do is show up.
You never need to get money.
I said show up. Just come outside. Come outside. Most women don't understand, especially women that are at home giving their husband trouble and bullshit. They are the ones I'm talking to. They don't understand that all the man needs to do is just show up outside. Brother, check your phone. You must get one guy, man, will be your friend for primary school or secondary school. Just come out. Come meet up.
But what are the ladies that are not showing their husband bullshit and the men are still misbehaving?
Bullshit is
bullshit.
We're coming to that. We're coming to that in a
Because
second.
now what are they want
Then
to
also peer pressure.
Right.
That's why when people
My
pray for
guys.
this one, people need to be careful the things you ask God for. You get people where you say that the blessed way they ask God for, then you go carry them go outside, then you go scatter their family. You understand? So a guy who's been a nobody, suddenly your friend is the governor. And by virtue of friendship, he gives you one or two, you run 200, 300 million enter. You become a superstar. So you can afford now to buy a girl a car of 10 million and look away.
So it means he was not actually faithful in the first place. He couldn't just afford. He couldn't just afford his
unfaithfulness. He doesn't even know what he's just.
He couldn't just afford his unfaithfulness.
You never hear about him before. You don't know. You understand? So you buy the girl car and the girl has like 20 friends where she don't tell about you. You understand? And suddenly all of them they admire you. You start feeling like a superstar. You understand?
Yes.
You start feeling like a superstar. You start doing, they run things. Some boys read all their life in school and suddenly they have a good job, good paying job. Guy will be say all in plan, what didn't come out for this life? I'm making say whether I go feed the seafood chop. Then suddenly, if he afford to stay for Ikoyi, Banana Island. So the temptation is high.
So sorry, I just wanted to even remind you of something.
Yes.
You were saying that all you need to do is go outside, as in come outside and show up. What about what you are seeing on your phone? Look at Ken, that is your host, that is holding his phone. Do you know what is popping up on his phone?
No, social media is demon box. That demon box where Deeper Life will preach. Where will be teaching on TV?
Not
the TV, that social
his
media.
phone, his social media. Seriously. And something crossed my mind. Nowadays you see ladies. I'm not going to mention this, but you see ladies cooking on Instagram. Looking hot while cooking. I remember that's your okra statement.
That Bobby the one show.
Do you understand? It's not even that. I'm not talking about the boss now.
I saw one some days ago. They get a day for village, they wash cassava. If you see the way they do the cassava. Because they roll an eye for camera, they do the cassava. Big cassava like this. Where one very spaghetti.
We already know what the social media has defined cassava to be.
You understand? If you see the hot body where she keep for the cassava, come bend down for village. They do the cassava like this. They say that wow. This one go down catch like 20
even that's your okra statement. There was a statement you made about some women be smelling of okra and be asking. You will see some ladies cooking on Instagram. Like, is this not your mate cooking? Looking like somebody that
but most likely that's not how they cook in their house every day.
Content. We are not talking about reality.
Bro, you see where that's where people make mistake. Some people are beginning to live like that.
With all the nails, everything is complete and she's cutting onions.
Forget.
Then you want to be dirty.
That content.
You want to be dirty.
That's a content that for people who never see life. Oh. You see that content. You know they said that fake it and you become
you
it.
Make it.
You understand?
Yes.
Some people don't they live like that. Some people don't they live that way on point. And then they chop all their large them. They chop all the big men now.
Yes. She's not make a delicacy with long nails.
All these kinds of industries then get where they go they lay their head. So
me, I'm captain of industry and I'm not going to lay my head. By the grace of God, I'll be with my wife.
TY.
Ladies and gentlemen, this can pass for an episode.
It's an episode.
It's not an episode. It's not an episode.
If we keep
okay, this is an unofficial episode. 7.1. Episode 7.1.
No, it's not an episode.
The review actually.
We will turn out like 3 or 4 episodes from this episode, but we need to call it a wrap. So we appreciate everyone who's been engaging.
Did you read that comments on Linda Ikeji?
We did.
Most of the last comment now
somebody thought I get big head.
But that's not up for discussion.
No, that's not. It's not a discussion.
Ladies and
gentlemen,
we appreciate you. We'll see you.
I have Linda Ikeji in front of me here. There wasn't anything
brand new
episodes.
But also for the comment I brought was from Linda Ikeji. Even that one I talked about last say the temptation full everywhere.
Some people are saying
basically
they are saying this is a one.
Let's close.
Only opportunity to talk before we close it.
We need to understand some things,
right.
Like so many people they ask. Infidelity is wrong. It's wrong for you to be in a relationship with somebody else and you're loving somebody else. If the person you're in a relationship with, you don't love the person enough, why continue deceiving the person? End the relationship and go into another one. And where you feel you need to keep the two, make the two of them official so that everybody go rest, everybody go day happy. You understand? And for people who be side chick out of there's some girls they lie to.
Right.
Where the man no come out with the two position.
True.
Until the woman fell in love with the man. And now the girl is forced to live with being a side chick. You understand? Are we going to blame them? It's unfortunate, but they should find a way to work out of it. Or let the man make it official. And bring the two women together. Make them know say then they share. After the Bible say time will come that 7 will ask one man. Say they just bear in name. So for people asking if I'm for or against, what I have come to do is to expose the topic. Maybe in our second episode, part 2, we'll be narrowing down to what is right and what is not right. But I'm sure every human being knows what is right. We all have conscience. I don't like when people come to ask me if something is wrong or right. You know what is wrong. You know what is right. What you cannot take, don't give to another. I think that's what I would say at this point.
Thank you,
and for
sir.
people going on social media to go and yab me personally, please stop. If you have anything to say on the topic, stay on the topic.
No,
come for me.
I'm like,
Make I know cause on top you will go.
Man of God, those are my Lakers on top of
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap for this episode. I enjoyed it.
All right.
We should have more of this.